When my rapper boyfriend proposed, his mom secretly brought his first love to the scene. Jack, I didn't want to have regrets, so here I am. Tears shimmered in the girl's eyes, full of emotion. You could see Jack was flustered. His one-knee proposal turned into a full-on pleading bow. I felt like the victim here. First, I don't like her. Second, what she's doing makes me look easy. Third, my leg's asleep, can you help me up? I ignored him, took off the ring I had just put on, flexed my wrist, and walked straight to the girl. I also don't want any regrets, so I'm going to shut your mouth. Jack knew I loved the open plains and had tricked me into coming here for the proposal, secretly inviting my scattered friends around the world to witness it. But just after the ceremony, a bright red Jeep roared in, parting friends and family. It came to a commanding stop in front of Jack and me. The door opened, and out stepped a girl in a white wedding dress. Jack, I didn't want to have regrets, so here I am. I love you. I've only belonged to you since I was 16. She said, tears in her eyes, making her way toward us. A moment ago, the proposal was lively, but now the place was so still you could hear a pin drop. Friends and family went from moved to stunned, except for Jack's mom, who couldn't hide her excitement. I always knew she thought they were the perfect pair. To her, I was the intruder, the reason Jack rebelled against her love and guidance. But bringing the girl here to disrupt her son's proposal was foul. Jack was visibly rattled, originally on one knee stylishly proposing, now on both knees in a pleading pose. But he was defiant. I feel like the victim, he said through gritted teeth. First, I don't like her. Second, this makes me look easy. Third, my leg's asleep, can you help me up? I ignored Jack, removed the engagement ring, flexed my wrist, and walked towards the girl. I also don't want regrets, so I need to shut your mouth. The last time I got in a fight was high school. Back then, I was strong and energetic, chasing someone 3 blocks without breaking a sweat. Now, even tossing someone over my shoulder left me winded. After I pinned her down, I asked, anything on your face that shouldn't be touched? Is your nose real? I'm not planning to cover your medical bills. She was in pain and scared, her face all scrunched up, whimpering and flailing. Surprisingly, it thrilled me a bit. I squeezed her right cheek, regrets now? Then her left, still love him? Friends circled around, pretending to hold me back. Mostly, they blocked Jack's mom from clawing her way toward me and ruining my fun. And Jack, standing outside the circle, looked at me like a sad puppy. Seeing me look over, he gave a sheepish grin, as if saying, you beat her up, can't touch me now, right? I found it funny yet annoying. This top-tier rapper, fearless and rebellious, now a nervous wreck. Am I fierce? I'd met Jack at a friend's birthday bash. Some industry big shots wanted him to freestyle rap for entertainment. He refused. His manager pleaded with him, smiling so much it looked painful. Still, he said nothing. The awkwardness was unbearable. I stepped in, you want a song? I'll sing. My fans always begged me to stick to acting. Singing might get me sued. The moment I opened my mouth, laughter erupted. It broke the ice. But the video leaked online, and I ended up trending for all the wrong reasons. Comments below were merciless in their honesty. I figured making folks laugh was worth it. Aren't public figures supposed to provide emotional value? But Jack, known for keeping it real, posted on Facebook, conveniently ignoring the truth. Melody has clear diction and a knack for rapping. Hope we can collaborate someday. Me? I initially admired him for standing up to industry pressure. Then he leaped onto this for clout, and my admiration nosedived. Not the fans, though. They shipped us hard. The hype blew up so much we did collaborate. And somehow, I went from disliking him to being a fan. Falling for a bold, slightly insane rapper is easy. After filming a 3-month show, he wrote a love song to confess his feelings. Gone was the anger and rebellion. He hugged his guitar, singing sweetly in the twilight glow. I was immediately struck, thinking, if I turn him down, wouldn't he write a diss track? No way I'd let that happen. Dating? Sure, bring it on. The proposal event's awkward turn shattered the mood. In the car after, my friend and agent Linda applied medicine to scratches on my arm. Pretty intense, weren't you worried you'd scare off your future mother-in-law? Clearly, she prefers Molly. It's all for her to see. Not swallowing my pride, I chuckled, reclining. Jack's mom never approved of him rapping, feeling powerless. His success only proved her wrong, fueling her resentment. This was her attempt to regain parental authority. But for picking a girlfriend, Jack wouldn't listen to her. Rebellious and untamed as ever. Linda closed up the iodine, admiring her fresh manicure under the light. Dump her son if need be, come live with me, my mom's drama-free. I lunged over, hugging her waist, teasing, Linda, how could I ever survive without you? From the passenger seat, Jack turned and smirked, I can hear you. Linda and I exchanged a glance, ignoring him. That night, a group of friends gathered for dinner. Jack's mom claimed illness and stayed behind. I bet she went to Jack's first love instead. At dinner, Jack put on a cheerful front, laughing and thanking friends like a social butterfly. But back at the hotel, as soon as the door shut, he turned into a sulky puppy. He squatted next to me, holding my leg, those clear eyes glimmering with drama. A tall guy with buzzed hair and thick brows, acting all pitiful. Just looks wrong. After a long stare off, he finally spoke, puppy-eyed, Melody, I know you're mad. But could you not be mad right now? I smiled warmly, I'm not mad, just kneel first. His expression suddenly turned gloomy, tears welling up in his eyes. His acting skills? Better than mine. Who announced you during your peak fame? Who wrote 138 love songs praising you? Who tirelessly fought keyboard warriors to support you? I couldn't help it, it was you, just you. He contentedly jumped into my arms, wrapping his arms around my waist, I knew you were reasonable. After the apology, I started to pressure him to spill the story between him and that girl. He chose his words carefully, keeping it low-key. But I still caught the key points. You guys grew up together? Desk mates in school? She stole your first kiss? Jack froze, clenched his fists, and got all riled up. Why does no one care about a boy's purity? I'm tainted, and no one speaks up for me. In school, a lot of people admired rebellion and bold expression. So when Molly cornered Jack and forced a kiss, they thought it was cool, brave. In today's terms, she's seen as a pure love warrior. As for Jack, nobody cared about his feelings, instead thought he lucked out. Don't be mad, next time I see her boyfriend, I'll give him one back for you. Melody. Suddenly, he perked up. He stopped playing the victim. With arms crossed, he lifted his shirt to reveal toned abs, eyes dangerously fixed on me. Come here, let me help you practice. This guy, always joking around? There's no conflict between couples that a 5-hour talk can't fix. The next morning, I woke up sore all over. I didn't even have the energy to mock Molly when I saw her downstairs. She was being helped by Jack's mom, limping over, her white dress looking pure, with straight hair falling over her shoulders, her cheeks bruised and swollen. She had a baby face and petite frame, the sweet and cute type. But Jack grabbed my hand like he saw a snake, whispering in my ear, protect me. Melody, I didn't think it through yesterday, I'm sorry. Molly hung her head, fidgeting with her fingers like a kid who did something wrong. I nodded, pulling Jack to walk around her. She added, but there's nothing wrong with loving someone, right? Can I talk to Jack again? I almost laughed in disbelief, looking at her like she was nuts. Jack's mom cleared her throat, about to say something when Jack cut in, once is foolish, twice is bottomless. Don't mess with my happiness, I'm not buying your act. I was stunned. Was he gonna sing it out loud? Jack cheekily winked at me, when inspiration hits, nothing can stop it. What do you think? Hard to rate. Jack, how can you talk to a girl like that? Be nice. Jack's mom admonished him helplessly. Molly's eyes reddened, looked at me, then at Jack, her voice cracking. Jack, you can insult me, but don't belittle my feelings. Jack chuckled. I got no class, skip the drama. With that, he dragged me along. Molly tried to block us, but he just pushed through. I watched the girl stumble back, Jack's mom looking lost about how to comfort her, nearly made me laugh out loud. But a few days later, I wasn't laughing anymore. Vacation over, I joined the film crew. And saw the director arm in arm with Molly, introducing her. Melody, this is a very dear sister of mine, help guide her a bit. She just popped up out of nowhere, snagged the second female lead quietly. Means she's got some serious skills. I had to look at her differently, grinning. From now on, she's like a sister to me. No worries, director, I got this. What a good sister. This role is a villainess, bullying my character all over. Considering a few days ago, I was still on top, bullying her, and karma came quick. A slapping scene took 8 takes until my cheek puffed up, and she finally whimpered she was a newbie, no experience, apologizing to me. Later she was to push me into the pool. I almost thought she wanted to drown me. She held on too long, I was gasping and my knee got scraped on the pool edge. But she didn't seem to think anything was wrong, just smiled sweetly. Melody, so dedicated, I should learn from you. I gave her a side eye, even I admire my tolerance for nonsense. I was exhausted after a day of shooting. While icing my bruises at the hotel, I got a video call from Jack. I thought about it and switched to audio to pick up. Melody, when can I visit the set? Once I approved, my puppy was on his way, leaving that very night. By 5 a.m., he was at the hotel, just in time for my morning routine. In front of a panoramic window, he whispered, breath hot against my ear, Melody, I miss you. I sighed, got it. Once Jack's passion finally simmered down, it was 2 hours later. I told him to rest a bit, but he insisted he wasn't tired and wanted to join me on set. I remembered his concert video with fans' rave reviews, chuckling, all the gloom faded. Jack, the unstoppable machine. On the way to the set, my assistant winked at me. I thought it was to praise my complexion and checked in the mirror. But she leaned in, whispered, Melody, that was wild. You're filming a romance scene today, gonna drive Jack mad, writing songs about the male lead? I raised an eyebrow, got carried away, totally forgot about that. Guess I need a plan. After some thought, I turned and held Jack's hand with a warm smile. I feel bad for you. He stiffened, sat up straight, looking nervously. What's wrong? His expression showed he was already questioning if he did anything wrong. I struggled to hold back laughter, adjusted my expression quickly, sympathetically saying, going through all the trouble for comfort, take a nice rest afterward. He nearly teared up from the sentiment, but something clicked and he got serious. Melody, are you trying to send me away? Why can't I watch the kissing scene? I get your work, plus, I'm mature enough not to fall for any mean girl tricks. I paused, first surprised, then curious about this mean girl he mentioned. What mean girl? Jack pulled out his phone to show me. That's when I found out, Molly messaged him from a small account last night. Melody can act in those kinds of scenes? You guys are in a relationship, after all. How can she just not care about your feelings? Even Auntie says it's not good. If it were me, I'd definitely stay out of those kinds of things for my boyfriend. There were also several pictures with borderline suggestive content from the original work. Sure, there are some scenes in the book, but once they're turned into a show, everything goes through approval. No way they'll actually film it. I turned off my phone and looked at Jack, expressionless. In less than 3 seconds, he was already feeling guilty. I'm sorry, I was wrong. I'm such a fool. How could I even let her contact me? I shouldn't be online, I shouldn't even have a phone. I squint my eyes and interrupt him. I'm not unreasonable. It wouldn't make sense to have you cut that thing off just to make sure no other woman thinks about you. He crossed his legs and grinned, giving me a thumbs up. You're magnanimous. I was both annoyed and amused. Sit a little further away. I don't want to see your face. Hearing that, he got bold. No way, I need my rightful presence to scare her off. Don't want her getting any ideas. This must be why he rushed over here. The intimate scene we're filming is where the male lead grabs the female lead in the bathroom. It's mainly to show off his dominance and intense vibes. I just have to act like I'm helpless yet slightly into it. Not too hard, it's mainly about creating that tension. But for some reason, the male lead can't get into character, and it's starting to annoy me. By the 8th take, I've lost my patience. Can you do it or not? Can't do it, he says. I'm too focused on love. I gotta come over to you. Nothing will stop me. I flip my hair to one side and give him a sultry look. Young man, you're getting too restless. Who would have thought he'd just dropped the towel? My excitement made me drop my phone on my face. Tears nearly followed, but I immediately picked up my phone to enjoy the view. Who doesn't have a bit of love craziness, right? Attractive guys are always my main motivation. Being in the cast feels like jail. Visits are like prison visits. I'm caught up in it, but Jack, who's out there in the colorful world, seems to be losing it first. Friday night, he calls me, complaining long-distance relationships are tough, asking when he'll be released. I laugh loudly on my end, not really feeling sorry, just finding his misery kind of adorable. But after hanging up, I suddenly realize. He's got heavy dark circles, skin's dull, and he's got breakouts. His state is beyond hormonal imbalance. There's got to be more. I get on my phone and start searching his name. Talent show drama, epic battles, top-tier Jack backs plagiarism contestant, Jack vows to blow up the stage. Reading through it, I get what he's dealing with lately. He's currently a mentor on a rap show. In the revival round, he strongly supported a contestant accused of plagiarism, who was also his best friend. Not everyone has the chance to prove their innocence. As a brother, I need to help him. With talent, skills, and strength, I'll show you the truth. In the video, he's in a white tank top, sweating, gripping the mic, veins popping, eyes bright and wet. The audience roared like waves. It was electrifying. I turned off my phone and stared out the window, worried. The night was calm, but the atmosphere is always tense in the rap scene. Jack rose up from the underground. Many peers and agencies are watching him closely, ready to lift him up or knock him down. Everything he does can easily get blown up and spark drama. He's aware of it too. The current popularity is like a bubble, dazzling yet fragile. Given all this, it's not hard to imagine the pressure on him now. On the episode where Jack was mentoring, I took a secret day off and went to the filming. He did great, exactly as he promised, blowing everyone away. Wearing a baseball cap, I mingled at the edge of the crowd, jumping to the beat, feeling the urge to cry. It felt like watching a stock you believed in take off. After his performance, Jack went off stage, shaking hands as he headed backstage. Then suddenly the crowd went wild. Security's shouts drowned in the chaos. From the opposite side, I could only hear the commotion, unable to tell what happened. My heart was in my throat. 10 minutes later, order was restored. The show continued. With no sight of Jack, I lost interest and left. On the way back to the hotel, I called Jack's manager to find out what happened. He was surprised. You were there too? When I heard a hater threw a bottle of urine at Jack, I got furious. Then found out Molly had jumped in to take the hit instead, and all I could do was laugh. That was a pretty sleazy move. Does she think it's romantic? Then, out of the blue, it started pouring. The headlights lit up the rain. It was like threads of silver. I stared out the window, trying to calm down. Knowing some thief is eyeing your stuff isn't a good feeling. But back at the hotel, with a quick scroll through my phone, I was at wit's end. In just over 50 minutes, videos from the scene flooded every major site. Influencers teamed up, one promoting, another digging up Molly's past. Quickly, they spun a tale of first love, childhood friends, years of unrequited love. Next, Molly bravely jumping in front of Jack turned into a scene of pure love, winning a bunch of shipping fans. I don't get it, I'm just shocked. I mean, I'm Jack's official girlfriend. If you want to steal him away, at least don't bring in reinforcements, right? There's so much of it, I can't even keep track. When Jack arrived at the hotel, he was soaking wet, mud on his pants. Must have run through the rain for a bit. His wet hair dripped onto his forehead, his eyes were watery. Pouting, hunched over, and threw himself into my arms, like a little dog that lost a fight. Melody, please don't be mad at me. I'm terrified. He lowered his voice and spoke with a rising inflection, like there was a little hook at the end, ambiguously teasing in a mischievous way, trying to cast a spell on my heart. I wrapped my arms around his wet waist. Let's shower first, don't get sick. He got playful immediately, squatted down, wrapped his arms around my knees, and picked me up, heading toward the bathroom. Yeah, can't catch a cold. Gonna need to sweat a bit later to chase away the chill. Me? I'm just a guy who grabs any chance I get. I said sarcastically, no way, I'm really scared. Jack just laughed. But the reality was, this guy's energy and strength were seriously drained from filming a show. While I turned to grab something, he fell asleep hugging my pillow. Leaving me there, feeling sexy but helpless. That lacy robe was really a waste. The next morning, I woke up because I felt like I was lying next to a furnace. Jack had all his limbs tightly wrapped around me, face buried in my hair, and his body heat was through the roof. Even his breath was scorching. At first, I was groggily thinking it was just him being excited. But then I realized something was off. I struggled to pull out a hand and felt his forehead. It was burning, no sweat. Might even get hotter. Jack, I was suddenly wide awake, panicking a little. But he was still asleep, half his face buried in the soft pillow, looking so peaceful, and yet his skin was too brightly flushed. His thick eyelashes fluttered slightly as if he heard me, wanting to open his eyes but without the strength, only managing a raspy whisper in response. So sweet, it hurt my heart. I tried cooling his body with cold water, tried all kinds of home remedies to bring the fever down. After a long while, I finally got a chance to call Jack's manager. When he found out, he couldn't help but blame me. Melody, the competition's really intense, you see the hype online. You shouldn't have distracted him now. He complained a lot before I realized during the time we were apart, Jack wasn't eating or sleeping well, was really stressed out. Plus, last night's rain and traffic jams, Jack was in a hurry to see me and ended up riding a shared bike in the rain for a long time. I sighed. I snuck over because I knew he wasn't doing well, hoping to recharge him a bit. Who knew I'd cause more trouble? The bigger issue was, I only took a day off, had to rush back to the set in an hour, couldn't stay to take care of him. No way, Melody, you can't just. Jack's manager was speechless when he heard I was leaving. I rubbed my nose, feeling guilty. But I couldn't change my mind, lots of people were waiting for me on the set. I can't waste their time or mess up their lives. So, I had to leave my devoted partner behind. After the call, I was about to get back to cooling Jack down when I turned around and met his sticky, hurt puppy eyes. Melody, are you abandoning me? Is it because I'm useless? Help me up, please. I can do it. I can't let Melody leave disappointed. Instantly, all my guilt and worry vanished. I walked over, looking down at him pretending. He suddenly reached out, grabbed my wrist perfectly, and pulled hard. Caught off guard, I fell into his embrace. Melody still craves my body after all. But this sturdy man knows how to care for his woman and doesn't want to spread the virus to you. After counting to 10, even if I don't want to, I have to let go, got it? His voice was all raspy and teasing. Jack, is something stuck in your throat? Can you just talk normally? I raised my hand to pinch his waist. He caught my hand, pressed it to his face, and softened his tone, sounding pitiful. Melody, I feel bad. Is it a headache? No. Breathing a little heavy, he said, it's time for you to leave my body, I feel bad for you. Jack's quite the drama king, switching between seeking sympathy and popping suggestive moves. But when I really had to go, he was reasonable. Colds get better quickly, don't worry. Work well, text me lots. His manager's attitude sucked, but he explained, in a relationship, only one can have hearts in their eyes, right? She's off making money to support us. I stood on tiptoe and ruffled his messy hair. Get to the hospital. He tilted his head, nuzzling my palm. Okay. Get well soon. Okay. Don't be mad at me. Okay. Despite all the anxiety and reluctance, I left. On the way to the airport, the city scenes flying by the window pulled at the parting sadness. I opened my social media and saw Jack had posted last night, with Melody now, so back off. All the comments underneath targeted Molly. Talkin' to you, girl, got it? Read between the lines. He even replied to an old fan, is wifey mad? Doesn't matter if she is or isn't, I'm definitely in the wrong. Warmth flooded over me. My love, he cares more about my feelings than I do. But marketing accounts don't care, still hyping Molly's love pursuit story, grabbing headlines. I ignored it, switched apps to message Jack. But I saw he was typing. Soon, he sent, Melody, I'm at the hospital, praise me. Wow, amazing, you're awesome, so smart and charming, my choice is flawless, huh? We babbled on until I boarded the plane and ended this silly yet meaningful chat. 3 hours later, I got off the plane, back to the set. Rushed to get ready, but then the assistant director came to say Molly had vanished, and filming couldn't proceed. I almost lost it. What is this? I've been patient, and now she's messing around because of a little buzz. Melody, sorry, should I let you know when there's news? Going back to rest? I wanted to rush back and bow down to Jack. As soon as I returned to the hotel, Missing Molly posted, what does 12 years of liking count for? Attached was a teary, tipsy selfie. I instinctively zoomed in to see the picture, quickly noticing that the filter was nice, edited details well. Suddenly, a message popped up on my phone. It was from Alex, the male lead in this show. He forwarded a post from Molly and added, Melody, don't get me wrong. I'm just being rude, not trying to ride on your coattails for fame. I didn't get what he meant at first, but then it hit me a few seconds later. He had commented on Molly's post, shameless. I was confused. Are guys these days so self-aware? Jack is also quick on the digital scene. Just as I was thinking of sharing this classic case with him, he had already shared Alex's latest post. His caption read, how can it not be considered? Where does Molly rank anyway? Linda was also on the front line of this drama, posting a cringe-worthy video of Molly from when she crashed a proposal. The video kept looping, Jack. Jack. I don't want to regret this. Jack. Jack. So, here I am. I was enjoying it when Jack's message popped up, Melody, I've handled it. Please take a look. He attached a screenshot of his recent post. I suddenly decided to play it cool. I waited 5 minutes before replying, oh, I haven't been following any of this. Don't pretend. I know how your mind works. Humming a tune, I switched to the platform. I typed out a caption I had already thought of. As soon as I posted it, Jack liked, shared, and commented instantly. I thought, if I can't be by his side, at least I'm helping him brainstorm. Then he goes, you should stop, let my love-struck mind rest a bit, I need to immerse myself in creativity. Get lost. That's relaxing. Hit me with another dose of it. Me, if you act up again, I'll chop off 2 inches. +3 smiling emojis. He immediately backed off, you take care. 2 days later, Molly showed up again. Dressed to the nines in high fashion, covered in luxury brands. Like she's shouting to the world that she's different now, bad publicity is still publicity. Strutting around. I thought the director would at least reprimand her a bit, considering skipping work is pretty serious. But to my surprise, this same director, who was fuming and cursing a few days ago, didn't say a harsh word to her and even seemed a bit sycophantic. This only confirmed my previous suspicions more. I nudged my little assistant who was still fuming, get it together. Before she actually comes for us, we need to know her connections. Soon enough, everything on set was ready, and we were shooting. Molly found me with the script. Melody, can you help me find the right mood? This scene was about the evil female sidekick, wanting to prevent the male lead from being sad, helps the heroine overcome difficulties. Later, the male lead comes to thank her, and they agree to remain just friends. The heroine isn't having it, but the male lead feels like he can handle it. Values clash. While the sidekick tries to make the heroine look ungrateful. I looked at her for a few seconds. The way you say Melody, it's full of emotion. You'll do well in your role naturally. Any acting techniques are redundant for you. Melody says something about my hostility towards her. She sighed, it's really big. I couldn't help imagining how gross this scene would be to shoot with her. After work, the first thing I did was rant to Jack. He was coughing and laughing on the other side of the video call. Your cough sounds bad. You should see a doctor, maybe even get admitted if it's serious, I said worriedly. He had a fever a few days ago, went to the hospital for a quick check, then came back as soon as the fever went down. Thought it was no big deal. But listening to him now, it seemed like his condition wasn't improving. Don't you think this raspy voice of mine is sexy? He tilted the camera, raised an eyebrow with a sly smile. Charming yet infuriating. Jack, you're my man. You need to be resilient or else I might just go shopping for a new model. Jack looked taken aback, then bashfully covered his face, laughing, yeah, I'm your man. I rolled my eyes, suddenly feeling warm-faced and loud. Stop fooling around. Go get treated. I'm begging you. He coughed again. Took a while before he said, all right. Suddenly, the door to the makeup room opened. Jack sick? I turned and saw it was Molly, and I got instantly annoyed. Did you track him by scent or something? Why are you everywhere? Molly stormed over, trying to grab my phone. I pushed her hand away. She glared with tearful eyes. Is this how you care for him, being his girlfriend? This was amusing. Yes, he's my man. So why are you worried? On the screen, Jack turned his camera towards the green tea girl, though he himself was out of view. But I could imagine the kind of look he must have had watching the drama unfold. Molly, caught off guard for a moment, countered, do you even know how long I've known him? I laughed incredulously, brought the phone close to her face. Were you trying to make me jealous? Nah, can't happen. With your baggage, being with you would just mean Jack is out of luck. A few restrained coughs came from the video, clearly struggling to stay quiet. Jack, get to the hospital. I'm not wasting words on someone not thinking straight. With that, I hung up and walked away. Molly, feeling aggravated, threw her limited edition bag at me, missed, and it landed at my feet. Just a tantrum of powerlessness. I kicked it aside, not bothering to engage with her. Jack was diagnosed with pneumonia, had to be hospitalized. So he missed recording the finals. Online, discussions were ablaze about this. Then some anonymous account started rumors about me, saying I bullied newcomers, and was a diva sucking up to executives. They even used the incident about Alex and Jack both attacking Molly online as an example, saying I orchestrated it. So a whole bunch of conspiracy theories popped up, saying I was using Jack as a stepping stone for my career and didn't really like him at all. They even claimed it was my fault he missed the grand finale taping, just because I was still angry over the Molly incident last time. People were saying that since Jack got together with me, his IQ seemed to drop, and we're just not a good match. When the company's PR department stepped in, they realized there were legit professional teams stirring the pot behind these topics. They had all sorts of behind-the-scenes, interviews, and photos ready. It was full of creative accusations, popping up one after another. Considering some recent sneaky moves by certain folks, it was hard for me not to suspect her. But I didn't bother with it. I blocked out anything that might stress me out and left it all to the company to handle. I know you like Jack, but this is a great chance to boost your popularity. Just think of it as a honeymoon on the show. Jack sighed softly beside me and hugged me, a bit helplessly. All right, as long as I'm with you, a love trip on the company's dime doesn't sound so bad. Linda poured us some tea, looking at us with amused eyes. Go on, this is killing two birds with one stone. You get to work and have a sweet romance too. I couldn't help but laugh. Okay, seems like a pretty good plan. Jack shrugged, clearly resigned but with love in his eyes. Guess we're off to experience a company-funded honeymoon then. With Linda's plan, Jack and I embarked on this unexpected yet exciting journey. Why don't you check it out a bit more? Compare your options. What if something better comes along? The key thing is the work here is easy and pays well. I looked at Jack sincerely. Honestly, it's not about the money for me. I just feel your love is really worth showing off on camera. Jack playfully clutched his chest like he was weak. Melody, I've been waiting for you to make this official. It's been tough on me. Is it tougher than Molly's decades-long crush? I asked, surprised. Jack snapped back to normal instantly. I'm willing to be a henpecked husband. Arrange away. And that's how it was settled. Linda came up with this plan because of Molly, who suddenly got between us, causing a trust crisis for Jack. So she thought this would let Jack and I spend more time together, to grow closer. I understood Linda's good intentions. But Jack, shy, quiet Jack, became all chirpy once we got home. He tugged at my sleeve. Melody, now we won't have to do long distance for a long time. How could that be anything but good news? Official titles can wait, as long as the affection keeps flowing. I almost rolled my eyes. His mind really is perfect for a dating show. Would be a shame to waste it. Just give your mouth a rest, alright? He didn't listen, of course. Followed me around like a puppy, endlessly chatting. I acted annoyed, but inside, I was happy. After all, the urge to share is the ultimate romantic gesture. How about we livestream getting our marriage license during the final episode of the dating show? It would be so cool, boost the ratings, and give you peace of mind about me. He wasn't just counting the beans here, he was practically laying them out on my face. So I'll indulge you this once.